My parents paid $60,000 for my brother's law school graduation party and told me, art supplies are cheap, you'll figure it out. 3 years later, they walked into my sold-out solo exhibition priced at $4.2 million, and my mom whispered, that's more than our house. Growing up, my brother Brendan was the sun, and the rest of us were just planets orbiting around him. Straight A's since kindergarten, valedictorian, Harvard Law, every milestone celebrated with banners and catered events. When he passed the bar exam, my parents rented out an entire restaurant, $60,000 for one night. I watched them write that check without flinching. Me, I was the hobby painter, the dreamer who wasted time with brushes instead of textbooks. When I was 17, I asked my dad for $800 to buy real oil paints, professional grade, the kind that wouldn't crack or fade. He laughed in my face. You don't deserve help if you choose crayons over a career. Figure it out. My mom nodded along like he was teaching me a valuable lesson, so I figured it out, just not the way they expected. I moved out at 19 with $200 and a backpack full of sketchbooks, got a job as a barista working the 4 a.m. shift, rented a studio in an old warehouse with no heat and a leak in the ceiling I caught with buckets. I painted in fingerless gloves during winter because I couldn't afford the space heater. I submitted to galleries under a pseudonym because I didn't want my family mocking me when I failed, and I did fail. 2 years of rejection letters. I kept every single one in a shoebox under my bed. Motivation. Then one piece changed everything. A collector posted it online. It went viral overnight. Within 6 months, collectors were bidding 6 figures on pieces I'd painted in that freezing warehouse. I bought a loft with cash, hired a manager, kept my pseudonym because I wasn't ready for my family to know. 3 years after I left home, my gallery announced my first solo exhibition. 400 guests. Paintings priced between $20,000 and $350,000. Total value, $4.2 million. For the solo exhibition, I finally used my real name. I was ready. Opening night was everything I dreamed about. Champagne, critics, collectors flying in from Europe. A cousin must have seen the announcement online and told my parents. Either way, they walked in like they belonged. My mom in a dress I'd never seen, my dad in his country club blazer, Brendan in a suit that probably cost more than my first month's rent. I watched my mom pick up the price sheet. Her face went white. She turned to my dad and said, loud enough for people to hear, that's my daughter's name. Who would pay this much for paint on canvas? Brendan smirked and said something to a woman next to him. I read his lips. Bet half of this is daddy's old money. The gallery owner stepped forward and tapped her microphone. Actually, the artist turned down every family contribution and built this entirely herself. She's quite proud of that fact. The room went quiet. My parents saw me standing 20 feet away. I raised my champagne glass and didn't say a word. They left early. I thought that would be the end of it. Within a week, my mom started calling extended family telling them I'd faked my success with loans in their names. My brother told his law firm colleagues I'd probably committed fraud. My mom called my biggest collector pretending to be my manager, tried to renegotiate a price on a painting he'd already purchased. They posted childhood photos online with captions about how I was ungrateful and mentally unstable. I spent 2 weeks dealing with lawyers and publicists, so I made a documentary, 23 minutes long. Every rejection letter I'd saved for 3 years. Footage of the warehouse studio with ice on the inside of the windows. Bank statements showing $37 in my account the same month they paid for Brendan's bar exam prep course. And the part I discovered while digging through old paperwork, my grandmother had left me a college fund, $42,000. My parents drained it to pay for Brendan's tuition. They never told me. I released it on YouTube. 28 million views in a week. Every major outlet picked it up. Collectors in my parents' country club circle quietly pulled their business. Brendan lost his associate offer when the managing partner Googled our family name. My mom left me a voicemail 3 days later. You've destroyed our lives over paint. Over paint. I hope you're happy. The next painting I finished sold for $680,000. I donated the entire amount to an art scholarship fund for kids whose parents couldn't afford supplies. Named it after myself, my real name. When the exhibition catalog was printed, I mailed a copy to my parents' house. The dedication page said, to the parents who taught me I never needed them. They stopped calling after that. Brendan moved to a different state. I sat on the floor of my studio last night, surrounded by canvases and the smell of oil paint, and realized something. This is just my life, the one I built when they told me I wasn't worth $800.